Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is your first time here, welcome to my beauty entertainment channel. Yes, so if you would like to follow me on social media, here's my Twitter and my Instagram. Go have fun, go enjoy. Thank you so much. And while you're here, you can check out some of my recent videos. A couple days ago, I think from when I'm posting this, I posted a video talking about TikTok and why racism seems to be the cure to boredom on TikTok for some reason. Then before that, I posted a review of Rina Sawayama's new album, and it was immaculate, so you should go listen to that. And then before that, I posted a video talking about Sella and the Spades, a brand new Amazon Prime original movie, which you should also go watch. We're seeing a pattern? So, we're doing a review today. I've been doing so many reviews lately. People are releasing good stuff. That's crazy. That's crazy. So today, if you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about Little Fires Everywhere. So this show, it's been let me say what the show is. So Little Fires Everywhere, it's a Hulu original. It's a limited series. Has been coming out week by week, but now all the episodes are available for streaming. So I just waited until the end to binge it. Do I regret binging? No, but I feel like it would have been a little bit more suspenseful if I had to wait every single week for an episode. Possibly should have done that. I haven't done that for a show in a long time though, waited a week for every single episode except like Good Girls. So, okay, interesting. Anyway, so what is it about? So I'm gonna read you what the summary is off here. So Little Fires Everywhere is based on a book, by the way, which I think I'm gonna read. Like, I actually think I'm gonna read it. Follows the intertwined fates of the picture-perfect Richardson family and an enigmatic mother and daughter who upend their lives. Okay, sure. The story explores the weight of secrets, the nature of art and identity, the ferocious pull of motherhood, and the danger in believing that following the rules can avert disaster. They didn't mention Kerry Washington's character at all. Okay, so Kerry Washington is also in this. The show is basically about there's two families. There's the Richardsons, which is the white family. And then there's Kerry Washington's character, Mia, and her daughter, Pearl. And that's pretty much the only spoiler. They intertwine in different ways. By the way, this will have spoiler. I got comments on my one for Tiger King, and they were like, you spoiled the whole series for me. I'm like, why did you click on the video? Don't watch this if you don't want Let's move on. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Little Fires Everywhere. I'm very excited. I watched it twice. It was very good. I watched it twice. So I'm just gonna go through the characters, and then I do what I always do, go through all the characters, and I'll talk about the whole thing at the end. So the first character is Tripp. Tripp is chilling. I mean, sure, he was a little bit of a douche, maybe. You could say that at the beginning. And it's like, that's a given, but like otherwise there's not much to say about him. He's a pretty like decent character, and when he was dating Pearl, he didn't treat her like an object that he owned, which is a foreign concept to his little brother. But anyway, I'll get there in 1 second. But yeah, Tripp, we didn't know that much about him at all. It kind of seemed like he was supposed to have a redemption arc by dating Pearl, because at first he was like messing around with every gen in the school, and then I guess Pearl was supposed to be his like, oh, he's redeemed now, I guess. So there's nothing really much I could say about him because we don't know a whole lot about Tripp. That's about it. Classic white boy football player. That's it. All right, next character I want to talk about is Moody. So, what a nice guy, right? So he's so sweet, and he bought her a bike or whatever and gave her a journal or whatever. It's so sweet. He took her to his secret hideout that was in the middle of a junkyard. So this was set in the 90s, and I kept forgetting it was set in the 90s until I saw the cars. So I like would literally forget that it was in the 90s until they got in a car, and I was like, oh, that old. Okay, so that's the only time I remembered. So I'm wondering, was it normal in the 90s to hang out in junkyards? I've never ever, I heard of maybe parks, junkyards, rats, maybe roaches. I don't know. I wouldn't be going to no type of junkyard, but maybe that's how life was in the 90s. I would not know. Anyways, so This nice guy bullshit, it's a load of garbage, and there were clear signs leading up to his full demise towards the end of the series. So when Pearl wanted to change her math class because she'd already taken geometry and they wouldn't move her to algebra 2 trig, he said, but we're in math class together, who cares? Who cares, Moody? Who cares? This is high school. We will see each other in possibly every single other class. Wasn't their whole class scheduled together? One class without her, I'm sure you'll be just fine, Moody. What's his real, Michael? Where do you get I don't know. I don't understand nicknames for that. I don't understand a lot of nicknames. Okay. He didn't want to take her to the homecoming dance. Pearl clearly wanted to go to that dance. I don't know if he just didn't read the signs or he didn't care. I'm pretty sure it's that he didn't care. Because if this girl you like so much wants to go do fun things, why wouldn't you take her to them? And why, when you're there, are you pouting and moaning and crying and acting like you're better than everyone else? I've never understood that. When people are like, I'm different, I don't like dances. Okay, congratulations, you're still here. You still paid a ticket. I'm sure they had to pay some sort of ticket. You still put on the whole suit to come here, get over it, and just have fun. That makes no sense to me. It's very, very sad, pathetic behavior, if we're gonna be perfectly honest. And then she wanted to go to that bonfire, and then he got all pissy because he wanted to watch a movie. You can watch a movie literally any day of the week. Any day of the week, any hour of the day, movies don't go anywhere. Are you kidding me? It's a quality loser behavior. You are so sad because you feel like you need to own this girl. It's ridiculous. Do you own Pearl? Because he acts like he owns, it's ridiculous. And of course, the nice guy facade is all a cover for misogyny. We all know that, but it was made evidently clear. I liked how they included a nice guy character. I liked that. Accurate for teen life. I like that. They included his character, and he had that whole, so he was a nice guy. There were clear signs of him being misogynist, a budding incel, you know, whatever you want to call him, And then at the end, so when he finds out that his sister, that Pearl is dating Tripp, he calls her a slut, as nice guys do, because they love women, they respect women so much, but the second a woman that he likes shows no interest in him back, now she's a slut. Interesting. I thought you were a nice guy, Moody. I feel like Moody would be the type of guy to be like, I'm a feminist. What happened, Moody? Where'd it go? Where'd that idea go? Oh, you did not get feelings reciprocated, so you act like a toddler and call her a slut. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, I never thought you'd be the type of girl to date Tripp. Do you really know Pearl? Let's discuss. Does he really know her as well as he thinks he does? I don't think so. Because how could he not tell that she liked his brother? If you knew her as well as you thought you did, clearly you were missing something. You were missing something in this regard. Let's make that perfectly clear. That was like, and the thing is, the second that he called Pearl a slut, Tripp immediately swung. The second the last syllable of slut left his mouth, Tripp was on it. He said, "You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that." So now we have the douche, the man who started as the douche. It's a clear. Nice guys and fuckboys are one and the same. And the guy that was supposed to be the fuckboy, supposed to be the rude, the douche. How I love when people unpack nice guy behavior, because it's all a crock of shit. It's all a crock of shit to get girls. It's all you don't actually care about women's issues. You're not actually respectful. You are literally just a fuckboy with manners. That's literally what it is. Oh, I liked how I talked. So that's Moody. Boring. Moving on. Next is my favorite character, Lexie. So already by her face and by who her character was clearly meant to be in this show, I already knew I wasn't gonna like her. I already knew that. I said, I went to high school with like 17 of you. I know what here we go. I knew she was bad. She outsold just how bad she was every single episode. She literally became a worse person every single episode. And color me surprised. No, let's just start. So we meet her. She starts off with all that affirmative action bull nonsense that white women love to bring up when it's college acceptance season. Get over it? And then her having a black boyfriend came up within minutes of Pearl entering the house. Okay, do what you want. She came up with a new microaggression every 5 minutes. Every episode was a new microaggression, and I applaud the creativity. At least you have something creative to do, because people that I went to high school with, it was the same thing every single day. Aren't we tired? Aren't we tired of this? There's never any spice. Lexie gave a little bit of spice to their microaggressions. Whatever. It got so much worse. Every episode we went, she literally became, we already knew she was evil. I could have told you that day one. It got worse. She became friends with Lexie clearly to get credit from Brian. That was completely, they weren't friends at all. They weren't friends at all. And Pearl, bless her heart, but like, she's a very kind person. Pearl is a very kind, I'll just say that. She gives people a little too much credit, and Lexie deserved absolutely none of the credit. She's a terrible person. I'm fully saying that. Let me get to my absolute favorite part of the show, my absolute favorite part of the episode. When Lexie gets pregnant because she had unprotected sex, and then goes to the clinic to get an abortion, and puts down Pearl's name. There were a couple times during this show when I wanted to jump through the screen and strangle a character, and this was one of the first. Are you kidding me? You go to the clinic, you call Pearl, tell her to skip school to come take care of you at the clinic, and you put her name down. And the reasoning for this, her reasoning was like, what if this gets out? My reputation matters. Could you imagine if this does Pearl's reputation does not matter? Does it? That's what I'm like. I wish Pearl would have been like, what do you mean by that? I wish it would have been like, what do you mean your rep? I don't understand. I love when you get a microaggression and you're like, wait, can you explain that to me? And then they get all uncomfortable because they're like, oh shit, was that? Yes, it was racist. I wish she would have been like, but I don't think Pearl's the type to do that. I wish she would have been like, I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean hurt your reputation? What? I don't get it. Why did you put my name down? Oh, I would have loved that. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think Pearl's the type of person. And people are gonna reason, they're always gonna give excuses to Lexie. They're gonna be like, well, it's because her mom's friend was there. She couldn't have had it. There was no other name. They clearly did not ask for any form of ID, so clearly she could have put down anybody's name, but she had to put down Pearl's. How did she not know that her mother's friend, who was the OBGYN there, how did she not know she would not be the one doing the procedure? There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes in Lexie's story. Why her name? You couldn't have called any other friend down there? You couldn't have used any other, I thought you were popular, Lexie. Any other friend's name could have put down there? You could have made up a name. They clearly weren't checking IDs. They clearly weren't checking IDs. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And then Lexie, so that episode really, I really wanted to jump through the screen and strangle her. And, you know, she gets worse. She has her whole thing with Brian and the black boyfriend, which I'll talk about, like, later. Ridiculous. I don't care. I've stopped caring. And then, of course, she gets into Yale, because people like that always get into Yale. She's so bland. She's very boring. She's an annoying character, and she stole her essay to get in. She didn't do anything in her life. I'm pretty sure she played field hockey or something and had a black boyfriend. Those were her two extracurricular activities. Really, Lexie? Those were her two extracurricular activities before she was gonna get married and settle down with a white guy, which was her mother's advice. Her mother's literal advice was, Brian's fine for you now, but in the future, we're gonna have to pick someone else. We know what that means. We know what that means. We know what that means. Oh my God. And Lexie loved to focus a lot of her microaggressions onto black women specifically, and her boyfriend did little to nothing about it. Not even little, nothing about it. He would go and like, when she did it to Pearl, he would go and talk to her. He would go and talk to Pearl, but then say nothing. It makes no, like, what he would say nothing to Lexie. I'll talk about that more at the end. It's fine, it's fine. Next character is Miss Izzy. This is my girl. Everyone knows, listen, I think most people were rooting for Izzy watching this show. I would hope you would be rooting for Izzy watching this show. I don't know, everyone's life is different. So I'm gonna go through each of her stunts because, stunt queen, but in like kind of a good way. So picking Izzy as her nickname was, I guess, the first one, just to make her mother upset. I think Izzy's the best version of, like, is it Isabel her name, or Isabella? I think it's the best version of that name. Then she set her hair on fire. I don't really know why she set her hair on fire. I guess it was symbolism, because like every time I saw a fire in the show I was like, oh my God, little fires wow. I was like, okay. So she did that. Her long hair wasn't looking the best anyway, let's be perfectly honest. There was a lot of dead end damage. The short hair was much cuter, suited her face much better. And her mother leaving her in the salon, I'm sorry, that's her mom's own fault. Why would you do that? If you wanted her to get a haircut that you liked, why would you leave her alone in the salon? Come on, Elena. Come on, that was your own, that was your own doing. I don't know how you're gonna blame Izzy for that. She was like, oh, she left me alone in the salon, let's get a haircut I actually want. Why would you leave? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Next is the not your puppet, the one she wrote on her forehead for the recital. I literally screamed. That was iconic. Would I have done that? No, but I don't think I have the guts to, and that's why I respect Izzy so much. She said, I'm not gonna do it. She said, I don't care. I do not care. I don't care that I'm at my, it was like a summer concert. I don't care. I'm not your puppet. I respect. I said, okay, Izzy's really not down with the shit. She's really not. Like, people will be like, I don't care. People think about me. I don't do this. Izzy said, I really don't. I am not your puppet, and you will not manipulate me as such. I love that. Then she called her mother a terrible mother. Finally somebody said it, because Elena, okay. So she then brought those babies to school. So that was a statement. That was a choice. Izzy, that was a choice. The thing is though, she really did not care. She said, I know everyone in this town doesn't want BB to get her baby back, but I do. That's what I'm doing, making a statement, political statement. And I said, okay, Izzy. It takes a lot of guts to do that in that high school, especially, where they're making fun of people for literally anything. For literally anything. And that makes me... Really, guys? Really? Also, the not your puppet thing, she literally kept it on for like 4 days. She clearly had to have been avoiding her face in the shower, because she's like, I'm trying to make a statement. I am not, wow, all amounts of respect to her. Oh my God. And then the kids, when she called her mother Elena, I choked. I said, oh, shit's about to hit the, Mom went away. She said, Elena, I'm not wearing your stupid kids. And then when her mother started cursing at her, I said, yeah, this is the turning point. This is we already saw, there was already some animosity, some bad blood. That was a turning point. They were both done with each other. And I'm like, Izzy, justified. Absolutely. Elena's a, whatever. Izzy's ex-BFF girlfriend, Lou, that girl's a, I don't think you understand. The second time I wanted to jump through the screen and strangle somebody was when they had that little heart-to-heart the day before, which wasn't a trap. I was surprised to see that it wasn't a trap. And then the next day at school when she brings the dolls in, and the girl, what's her name? Alexis? What, April? When she says, who still has Cabbage Bells in high school? I was like, you, probably. You probably have them in your room right now. Are you kidding? I wanted to. You are pathetic. You are pathetic. That party scene was, I think, that came after it might have been in the same episode as the baby dolls. Again, I was like, I'm gonna have to pull a Blue's Clues, and I'm gonna have to come in here and strangle this little girl. Because first of all, April's face it already aggravated me. It already made me upset. The way she does her hair, it already aggravated me. And then for her to go and do that, and Izzy always loses. Izzy always loses. She always has to lose. She loses at home, she loses at school, she loses in her life. Why? What did she do to you guys? To Elena, she was just born. That was enough. That was enough. Elena's like, you were alive, so I don't like you. April clearly has some issues to resolve. April, if you were girlfriends for an entire year, you don't think that's ever gonna come out in your 4 years of high school. You're gonna try so hard. You're gonna bully her till you're blue in the face. It's gonna come out in your high school experience. 4 years. 4 years is a very long time. People love to dig stuff up. It is so pathetic to do that to another person. It is so pathetic to do that to another person. And then you do that and you continuously rip on them to shreds every single time you see them. And Izzy doesn't even do it back. She doesn't even, that's how kind the soul is. She doesn't even do it back. She doesn't even do it back. Because she could drag you to filth the way you wear your hair. It's string. Your hair is string. She could start at your hair and work her way down. But she doesn't, because she's a decent person, which you have never heard of in your life. It is so... April is a loser. All of April's new friends are all also losers. Very interesting who the popular kids are at this high school, because I'm not seeing any sort of trait that would make them popular. Very interesting. Very upsetting. I really wanted to jump. All of this because he wanted to be popular in the 9th grade. Who cares? Does anyone remember 9th grade? Does anybody remember who was popular in 9th grade? Nobody cared. In 9th grade? Are you kidding? Ray, tell me if you remember 9th grade clear enough to remember who was at the top of the food. It doesn't matter. Senior year, maybe. 9th grade? It is so pathetic. It was so pathetic. Back to Izzy. The homecoming episode was like, it was a disaster, but it was a turning point for her. Then she started to find her confidant in Mia, which I loved. That was like one person in the show showing respect to Izzy. What a concept. What an interesting concept. My God. My God. What an interesting concept. But she finally found someone who understood her. I'm about to get so upset. That Cabbage Patch doll scene, I paused the whole show. I was like, you did this again? I wasn't surprised that she did it again, but I was like, you did this again? I thought the trap was gonna be her going to her house and then like, whatever. I didn't think she'd do it at school. What a pathetic waste of space. That's what April is. Moving on. Next is Pearl. All right. I like Pearl. I know people think she's annoying, and I'm just like, she's like fine to me. The thing is though, so when she the reason this all started is because she found a sense, she saw what stability looks like, and it's stability in terms of staying in one location, because if you haven't moved a lot, moving all the time is not good for anyone, but especially not for like children, and especially not in high school. Like, that's not the best thing for children. So none of this is her fault. I mean, she saw what stability was with the Richardson. I mean, it was clearly a facade of stability because they were a disaster behind the screen, but she saw that stability and she's like, I want this in my life. I need this in my life. So people are like, she's annoying. She's always wanting her mother to do different things. And like, yes, I get that. But you also have to understand this was possibly the first time in her life to ever feel secure in terms of like a home front. So I understand why she wanted to defend it for as long as possible. She wanted to defend everything everyone was doing for as long as possible, because this is the first time she felt in one place. Okay? that love triangle between her and Moody, it wasn't a love triangle. It was Tripp and her liked each other, and Moody was there being a waste of space. That's what that was. It was, I already talked about it. It was ridiculous. Moody is a sad, sad little boy who needs to find a new hobby. Please, please, he needs to find a new hobby. Let's unpack this. When did Pearl show that she liked Moody? You don't have to watch the whole show. She did not show nearly one sign of liking him in like that way. She showed signs of liking him as a friend. She literally has liked Tripp since the first what episode was it? The second episode. Since the first episode, Tripp and she went to return the bike that Moody gave her, and Tripp was like, you can come inside and watch TV with us. She was giddy. She was goofy for Tripp. Since that episode, there was no sign that she liked Moody. But somehow she's the slut, Moody, because that makes sense. Men are so pathetic. Just because she hung out with him, just because you gave her a nope, it doesn't make any sense. That's the thing with the moving thing. So like, that's why I'm like, I understand why people think Pearl is aggravating, because she does think she knows what's right, but you also have to understand it's not the best thing to move around all the time as a kid. Not as a kid, but like as a teenager. Like I moved around, not a lot, but I moved around a bit when I was younger, but it stopped once I got to like 7th grade. It stopped, and I'm glad that it did, because at that point I started going to like the school that I graduated from, and like that was a sense of stability. I stayed at one school from 7th to 12th grade. That hadn't happened before in my life. Glad that happened then, because high school moving around that, it don't work. The one thing that Pearl did that I was like, why did you? When she left her house in the middle of the night to go to the Richardson's house and sleep there, I was like, I don't know if she doesn't know how that looks. I'm pretty sure that she doesn't know how that looks. That looks really bad on your mother. That you left in, I know her mom, because her mom just banned her from going back to that house, so I would have been upset too. But to like, leave your house the middle of the night and go to somebody else's house that she just banned you from and sleep there, what was going to be gained, sweetheart? What was going to be? Now you can't ever go back there. Why couldn't you just have snuck there after school? I was like, Pearl, why would you do that? That was really, really stupid. And I just think she has she's too forgiving. She's a little too kind. It's basically her with Lexie. I'm like, Pearl, what are you not seeing? And I'm like, I get it. I'm like, she wants friends. She just wants friends. But I'm like, Pearl, something has got to change. You can't let this girl basically steal your life and then run away. It's getting ridiculous. And I'm glad her mother, but the way Mia would tell her these things was always in this most condescending, rude. I'm like, don't do that to your. I'm getting to her in 1 second. Next character is the dad of the rich Bill. Useless. What did he add? What did he add except for chaos? What did he add except for literal chaos? Told Elena Izzy's confidential secret. Okay, that's all he added was unnecessary stress, especially in that flashback episode when we learned that how she was like pregnant like 6,000 times, and then she's like, I don't want this baby. I don't want this 4th baby. And he was like, no, have it anyway. It's no different than having 3. And he didn't do anything when she had the 4th kid. Didn't come back, didn't help in the household, literally got lung cancer, smoking the cigarettes, and that's it. Really? All he added was unnecessary stress to the equation. That's all he added. It's ridiculous. All right. Next up is our first mother, Elena. So she starts off, how they paint her off in like the first episode is the perfect like all-American like Republican wife. Like she was wearing a freaking pantsuit in the first episode. Like come on, all-American Republican, just red. It's like cherry red. Okay. She starts off by calling the police on a woman sleeping in her car. Another very white woman tactic. What do you gain? You ask your brand new tenant, can you mow the lawn? Okay, oh, you could, okay, that one maybe you could explain, but then you ask her to be your maid. Within like hours of me, do you want to be my maid? Oh, sorry, housekeeper. Do you want, what? And when she went back and Bill was like, that was loaded. And she's like, do you mean racist? Do you mean racist? Wouldn't it have been racist for me to not offer her the job due to her race? Classic white woman line. Reese delivered it beautifully. Classic line. They love that. That's just not true, but whatever. But classic white woman line. I like how she did that. Elena is still upset that she had to give up her career. That's what she's really mad at, and I'm like, understandable, because this is why she went so hard into the finding out who Mia really was thing. It was an opportunity to get the rush of feeling young again. That's why she went back to see Jamie she could have found that information by herself, but she went back and saw Jamie because she wanted to feel like her old self again. Like he was probably her one true love. Like, come on. And then, so she did all that, and she did that whole like 2-day long like PI like Nancy Drew situation to feel young again, to remember what it was like before children. Okay, whatever. And then she started witness tampering. You know that's a crime, right? To witness tamper? She just started witness tampering. Going to tell BB that they pay her. You're not a lawyer, Elena. Why are you going and offering payment on someone else's behalf? Do you have a law degree? I don't know what that was very, very confusing to me. That made absolutely no sense. Then she starts threatening Mia. That's a crime. That is and nothing will happen to her, but that is a crime. In case you're unaware, witness tampering, that's a crime. Threatening witness, that's a crime. Anyways, and then Elena has a big mouth and she's very vindictive. Those two don't go well together because they usually are they're usually used. She uses her big mouth to vindicate. Is that a real word? To get back at people. She uses her big mouth to get back at people. Why are you the one who told Pearl the truth about her mom? When I know Mia not telling Pearl any of that was bad, and I'll get to that in a second. That was very bad. But in what universe would it be your right to tell her daughter about the truth about her life? Elena has gall. She has the audacity, if nothing else. When would you ever be in that? Why would you do that? It's not right that Mia hid this from her daughter for so long. It's not, believe me, it's not right. But what would give you the right to tell that girl the truth? And she only told her that to get back at her mother. Are you seeing? Her big mouth is being used to get revenge. But who loses? Pearl. You don't lose. Mia doesn't lose because she was going to tell her anyway. Who loses? Pearl. So this whole self-righteous, I had to tell her because it was the right thing to do, is false. It's false. You wanted to get revenge on Mia for bringing BB into your life, even though she probably could have found that child within like a couple of years. Whatever. That was ridiculous. And the whole thing with BB Chow and Linda and Mark, I think is the husband's name, she was literally she was doing all of that because she felt bad that she brought Mia in. I'm like, when Bill like read the hell out of her in the final episode and was like, you are the common denominator here, you brought all these people here, she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle the truth. Sis, you are so focused on someone else's life that you can't see the problems under your own roof, Elena. You can't see that your daughter is stealing essays. Your daughter is stealing essays, writing other people's names on her clinic visit forms, she can't even write her own name down at the clinic. She can't even have the courage to write her own name down. That is so pathetic. She didn't even write. That's what's going on under your roof. You have a budding incel under your roof because that's how they start. Moody, get a hobby. Your other daughter is losing her mind, crying for help because you hate her. Your husband started smoking cigarettes again, and you're focused on Mia and Pearl. Do you see all of these issues that led to the little fires everywhere? That you were so focused on Mia and Pearl. It makes no sense. Look at the mess under your roof before you start focusing on somebody else's mess that has absolutely nothing to do with you in your life. Focus on that instead of scratching the Scooby-Doo itch trying to figure out who Mia is. Get over it. That's the moral of Elena's story. She needs to get over it. That's it. All right. Last parent is Mia. All right. So Mia did not like the Richardson. That's completely understandable. Would you like the Richardsons if you actually knew them? But the thing she did to like protect Pearl from the Richardsons, I didn't really agree with the way she went about it. Like, she took the job at their house to keep an eye on Pearl and all the kids. And like, honestly, I would have been mad too. Like when Pearl was mad and was like, why would you do that? I'm like, I completely get that. There are so many other places you could have worked. So I'm glad that she did that in the end, because that house was ridiculous. But like, I would have been upset too. I would have been very upset. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? You really can't just, I don't know, come pick me up at appropriate times? Why are you getting a job in the house? I would have been, so like, I understand, I would have been upset too. You just made this new friend, and now your mom's trying to be nosy as hell, trying to figure out everything going on in your life. You have no sense of privacy, because she sees her at home, and then she sees her at her friend's house permanently. No, it wouldn't have worked. It would not have worked for me. She was doing it for right reasons, but like, there's another way. There's another way to do all of that. And then, you know, when she made her return the dress and the bike, I was like, can't she just keep it? They already gave her the dress. It's already paid for. Can't she just keep? But I guess I'm not a parent, so I guess they can do whatever you want. And then there's a couple scenes that I really like they did with the writing and with her dynamics with Elena. There was one scene when Elena caught her in the reference lie when she used her boss at that restaurant that she works at as her reference. I think this was on purpose. I don't know. Basically what Mia did is she played to the white woman victimization side. She basically was like, she played to the white woman as good. The white woman got like race savior complex that a lot of them have, where it's like, oh, let me tell you how different you are from the rest of them. That's kind of how she got out of that situation. She was like, you're different than the rest of my other landlords. They wouldn't rent to me because I'm a single black mother, but you're different. She played to that side, that very like self-righteous, like, oh, I'm all for the people, even though you're not. Clearly Elena is not. It's very like it's very putting on a front for like public eye and public perception. I really liked how they played to that part of her, because I was like, yes, use that and get exactly what you want. I really liked that part. So it's like, you're different from mama. You're not racist. You're a black woman. I'm telling you that you're not racist. You have my stamp of approval. Now let me live in your house. So like, good for her like that. Then when Mia read somebody on this show, there was no recovering. My favorite, she read Elena for filth in that last episode when she came to her house talking all types of crazy, talking about her daughter. I'll talk about that at the end. When she read Lexie, when she showed up at her house begging to be taken care of after putting down Pearl's name at the clinic. First of all, get out of my house. So she's already better than me in that sense. When she said, my daughter might love to give and give and give to you, but I don't. I have no interest in living that life. I am not your slave. I'm not your maid. Kerry Washington delivered those reads, because Kerry Washington does those very, very well. She like pinpoints at you and digs. It's like, ooh, I got you right there. Okay, so those are all like the main-ish characters. I'll talk about the ones I didn't talk about like now. Next one I want to talk about is the Mei Ling storyline. This was an entire disaster. The whole thing with the baby was from the start was an entire disaster. So when she'd heard that this might be Mei Ling, the what was her, Mirabelle, when she heard that that might be Mei Ling, first of all, Mia going into, so she's a photographer at the baby shower, right? In what situation would it happen that a stranger, a photographer at your party, would be in your kid's nursery holding them? When would that ever happen? That's why I don't know why nobody was suspicious from the very start. I'm like, in what situation would that have happened naturally? In what situation would that, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that y'all let that slide. They just were like, yeah, that's normal. Okay, whatever. I don't know, she was looking for this the dot on her head was massive. She couldn't see that dot without literally picking and flipping the baby like a sack of flour. She was literally throwing the baby around like a rag doll and couldn't see that massive dot. That's a hole. That makes no sense. So that's just thing. And then this was doomed from the start. So then Mia decides, now that she has found her baby, it is somehow appropriate to go tell Bibi the location of her daughter. What did you think she was gonna do? What did you think she was gonna do, Mia? Did you not think she was going to, I don't know, drop everything and run and forego every law that she's ever learned and go try to get her daughter back? Because that's exactly what happened. How did you not see that coming? And she wasn't even there. She was having sex with her boss. She wasn't even paying attention. And she could have gone to jail. Does Mia know that? Like, she could have gone to jail and then been deported. Because that was trespassing. Had she gotten up to the baby's room, it could have been attempted kidnapping. That wasn't smart, Mia. That's the first thing. The lawyer, when they started, the lawyer, that lawyer pulls an Olivia Pope. That lawyer did excellent. Putting it in the court of public opinion first, excellent. And that was a good lawyer. He did a really good job. I know why they lost. I know why that she lost the case, because like the system was set up against her from the start. But like, had that been like a fair fight, they would have won. Because the lawyer, that's a good lawyer. That was a good lawyer. When he went for the jugular and asked, what's her name, Linda, was like, do you not care about your daughter's racial identity? And Linda was like, because you know what, I'm gonna get all, like, I don't know, don't attack me. And then he went for the jugular with the fortune cookies. I said, yes, let's talk about it. He said, is this one big joke to you? Because when she was asked if she was gonna include stuff about her daughter's cultural history, she brought up that she gave her a panda doll. So I'm glad the lawyer clocked her for that and then brought up the fortune cookie thing. Because I was sitting there, I was like, did you just say you gave her a panda doll? There's no way you just said that. But she did. I rewatched it. She certainly did say that. She said, I gave her a panda doll. Doesn't that count for something? No. So that was great. And then so she gets visitation, Bibi gets visitation to see her kid with Mia still driving her around. So I'm like, I don't think she really cared that Elena was gonna find out that she was funding Bibi's lawyer, because she was driving her around. That, like, I don't think she really cared, because she was not doing anything to be secretive. She was not doing anything to hide anything from anybody. So I was like, okay, I guess she doesn't really care. And so she loses the case, and this whole thing ends with her going and taking the child. So here's my thing. I know why all of this was done, but here's the thing with going and ending up taking the child. Now they know it was Bibi. Like now BB is the first person the police are going to look for and find. Like all of this just to probably end up in jail anyway. I don't know. I'm like, you did all of this to end with her just going and taking the child, and it's like, I don't know. I was sitting there, I was like, oh really? That's what she's gonna do? I was like, okay. I guess it's like the same thing, kind of what Pearl did, but like not really, not what Pearl, what Mia did, it's kind of the same thing. But I was there, I was just like, you did all of that. She sold that picture that like literally gave her like an adverse reaction to the picture. All of this just to take the kid. That was a lot of work for nothing, and now you're going to get caught because you are the first prime whatever. So that was the first storyline that I wanted to talk about, because I was like, that it just ended in like a fizz. It was like, what we did all that for what? We did all that for what? Okay, next thing. This show, in my opinion, did a pretty good job of showing what it's like to be black at a predominantly white high school, especially. So every high school has a Lexie. Usually most high schools have at least 5. Or actually most high schools are bigger than mine was, so probably like 15 in like an actual regular sized high school. Or at least high schools have what Lexie represents, which is this sad, pathetic white little girl who starts projecting all over the place and acts like they're better than everyone else or whatever, because they project the issues. She's projecting the issue that she has in her own household onto a black person because it would make more sense coming from them. That's what Lexie was doing. Pearl not being, the first thing that got me was when Pearl was like, when they wouldn't let her take Algebra 2 Trig, because the literal same thing happened to me twice in my high school, and I was like, they literally just be doing that. They do that. They literally do that. You have the grades, you have the knowledge, you have the capability. They will make up any excuse in the book to not put you in the advanced class. They will come up with literally anything, and none of it will make any sort of sense. None of it will make sense, and none of it will be true. But they just don't want you in the higher class. So that was really accurate. Another thing that I saw was at the homecoming dance, it was just little things that I was like, oh my god, you got it right. At the homecoming dance, when like the black song came on, when the rap song came on, and then all the black people started dancing and the white people were just like, oh wow, movement. I was like, wow, y'all got that right. And then of course the weakest link. So I didn't talk about Brian previously. Brian is a representation of a much deeper issue. So Brian, you know, All-American, he's a quarterback, right? Football player, got into Princeton, yay, yay, yay. And Brian, I'm sure if you asked him, he would be like, I am woke. I am aware, because he says stuff that like is socially conscious. He's like, do you know that I'm black? I'm this, I'm not ashamed of being black. When I get into Princeton, people ask me if I'm black. He says socially conscious things. However, the reason why he's being used as the weak link in this argument, I don't know. I don't know what that was. He's still dating her. He says all these things. He believes all these things. He sees Lexie's clear pattern of racist behavior, and he's still dating her. That was a well done job with the interaction between Lexie and Brian, and how it was at the end when they finally broke up. It took him the entire season, which I think was like half a school year or like 3/4 of a school year. No, it was half a school year to break up with her. It took him the entire season to break up with her. You are contributing to the problem. Lexie was like, if you care, she literally said it. She brought up the conversation. She said, if you believe all that, why are you still dating me? If you believe that I'm racist, if you are seeing my pattern of behavior, why are you still dating me? And I said, that is the question, Lexie. Why are you still dating her? Because it's not a secret that Lexie is racist. It's not a secret. She doesn't hide it. She never tries to hide it. and you're still dating her. You're still, by you dating her, you're saying this is acceptable, this behavior is acceptable. It's fine that she refers, that she literally takes out all her aggression onto the black woman at your school. Pearl, that girl at the drive-thru, oh my God. Those people. And you're still dating her. Excellent character, excellent representation of the classic weak link. I liked it. I really liked his, I didn't like his character, but I liked what I liked that they put that type of character in the show, because a lot of shows like to avoid having that conversation about, like, if you're dating the racist white woman, you're not doing what you think you're doing. You're not as socially conscious as you think you are. You are not the woke king you claim to be. If you're, that doesn't make any, whatever. That doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm glad they brought that conversation. And then the show back, like, with race elements, they had a lot of parallels. Like when Izzy was 70 cents short for getting on the bus and she was let on, but when Baby went to the store to go buy formula for her baby child and she was 70 cents short, she was kicked out of the store and probably called all types of names. Elena sleeping in her car, the police comes over, knocks, asks if she's okay. Versus Mia was sleeping in her car, Elena calling the police on her, and they telling her to move probably before she were to get a citation or a ticket or get arrested. I really liked that. I also liked how they, in the last episode, how she put in that tape and listening to the history of race in Shaker. I was wondering when they were gonna explain that, because I was like, I feel like there's something more here. I'm glad they explained it, and I like that they explained it in that way over cassette tape. That's called a cassette, right? Over like the tape. I like how they explained that, and I liked how they showed her in the supermarket at the store. I was like, they just did. It's the very little things out the show that I'm just like, thank you for finally including that. Cause like, I don't know. I haven't seen it all. I mean, they're not the first show to do that, obviously, but I really like when these little things that I see are seen. And then next, the acting. Sometimes with the show, if you're like, who's the worst actor on the show, there's like a clear answer. I don't think there was a weak link amongst this entire cast. I think they all held their own, especially those kids. Those kids were all, especially in that last episode, those kids were acting. They were, and of course Miss Izzy, of course I'm gonna give her a flower. Give this girl her flowers. Give the girl her name is Megan Stott. I'm paying attention because it was a good show. It was a very good show. And then, you know, Carrie does the mouth thing, the thing right here when she moves it up and down, that I'm not a particular fan of per se. So like, that was probably the only thing that bothered me, but not even that much. You get used to it. Which Tiffany Boone, I'm talking about, I'll just talk about it in a second. She imitated that perfectly. She did. I'll just talk about her now. So this flashback episode, I hate flashback episodes. I hate what could have been episodes. I hate all episodes where time is warped. I don't like when shows do that. I think they don't do it very well. However, this is probably the best one I've ever seen. I didn't hate it. I actually very much enjoyed this episode, and I was very surprised. I do not like flashback episodes. They're never done well. I don't like when you ruin a storyline. When you like cut it, you stop it, and you go back 6 years. It doesn't make any sense to me. But they did it really, really well. And I think it helped the people that they picked to play younger versions of the character. They picked Anna Sophia Robb to play young Elena, and then Tiffany Boone to play young Mia. Those two choices, yup, flowers. They're needed now because they did a phenomenal job. They did a phenomenal job. And this episode is when we learned about like their actual backstories. Elena was literally like permanently pregnant for 5 years. She was like barely late 20s, like she was late 20s with 4 kids under the age of 5. I don't think, could you imagine? That's my thing. She had a literal newborn baby and was already pregnant. When she went to the doctor for birth control and the doctor was like, I can't give it to you, you're already pregnant, my jaw hit the floor. I would be furious. I would be enraged. Her maternity leave, which was 6 weeks, just ended and she's already pregnant. No, and then we learn that's why she has the hatred for Izzy, because she's like, are you kidding me? She basically thinks Izzy ruined her life. And that's where all this animosity comes from. It needs to be unpacked in therapy, but clearly no one in the show is in therapy when they all need to be. And it's like the things Elena said to Izzy were some of the most possibly degrading things you could say to your child. I never wanted you. You were a regret. You were a mistake. Possibly the most dehumanizing and disrespectful things you could ever say to a child. Elena said them all. Elena said them all and wondered why Izzy ran away. Oh my God. And then we'll go to Tiffany Boone. She had every little mannerism that Kerry Washington does when playing Mia. She got them all down packed. I was in there, I'm like, you must have studied. She did the reading. Nobody ever does. She did the work, and it showed, because it was a phenomenal performance. Wow. And then Mia's storyline, learning that she was a surrogate, I was like, thank you. Because I was like, from the second when she seemed to have more than just like an empathetic involvement in BB's thing. I was like, there's something personal going on here. So learning that she was a surrogate made a lot of sense, and I was like, okay, that makes much more sense as to why she's so involved. And then learning Mia's whole backstory. This woman went through it all. Her brother dies. Her parents disown her. She takes the baby, drives cross country, delivers the baby, then calls to learn that the person that she loved died of ovarian cancer and didn't tell her. All within like, probably seemed like 3 weeks. I don't have a response to that, because that whole scene, how that all happened within like 10 minutes, I was in shock. Sucker punch, gut. It was just one after the other. I was like, is it over? Is it finally? Oh my God. That was a lot. So I really liked the flashback episode. And I usually don't, so I was pleasantly surprised. So all in all, the final episode was a whole slew of mess. I loved it. I loved that last episode. I was waiting for the abortion thing to come out. I was like, you are not about to have this show go all the way through and that secret stay a secret. I was like, nope, expose it all. And they exposed it all in the final episode. Everything came to light. Wow. And this included my favorite Izzy read. She has a lot that I like, but my favorite read of Moody, which was needed. Thank God they put this in there when she was like, you literally, do you own her? Do you own anybody? He was all sad and sulking and pouty and sad because he thought he owned somebody. What a sad little man. That's budding incel behavior, and it needs to be nipped in the bud immediately. Okay? And then Bill, the useless man, read the hell out of Elena, was like, you wanted this life, you're just mad because you never did this, and that, and the third. I said, okay. And then he basically said, you are the common denominator in every single issue we've had for the past year. And she was like, oh shit. Oh, she can't handle the truth. And that's why she went the hell off like she did. And then she went to Mia's house and found out that it was her daughter who was pregnant, started a whole spiral of mess. And so then them setting the house on fire. So I know they weren't thinking rationally, but I don't know why they didn't like put the gasoline and then get everyone out of the house and then set the house on fire. I feel like that could have ended really, really poorly by them starting the fires when they were already in the house. That could have ended really, really poorly. What if Elena hadn't gotten up? I don't know. They were clearly not thinking rationally, but I was while watching the show, and I was like, why didn't you guys do it a different way? Whatever. whatever. The kids in this show have been acting their ass off the entire series, but in this final episode, it was taken to a new level. Phenomenal job. Shout out Izzy. Shout out all of them. They all did a really good job. Izzy, what's her name? Megan Stott. Yup. I would like to know where Izzy is. That's how that show kind of ends. Was Mia and Pearl like picking her up when she's hitchhiking? Was that a dream? Because when I watched it the second time, I was like, because she was talking about dreaming. The narrator was talking, I forgot who was narrating, was talking about dreaming. So I'm like, was that a dream? Did she not get picked up by them? I think it was a dream. I don't think it was real because she wasn't in the car when they got to her parents' house, or they drop her off at like a bus station. I'm like, I don't know. Also, I don't feel like Mia would just take another kid with her. I feel like she wouldn't just be like, yeah, let's go drive across the country together and worry your parents sick. Like, I don't know. But I also don't want Izzy to go back to that house. So something's got to change. Basically, you should really watch this series because, so I watched it twice. It was better the second time. You can see a lot more. It's a lot more, things become a lot more evidently clear when you watch. I always watch things twice. I think it's a different watch the second time because you know what happens. I really enjoyed it. Hulu might make the best originals. I'm gonna need to watch at least a couple more of their originals, but this blew every Netflix original I have ever seen out of the water. It probably also had to do with the fact that they had Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington as their two leads. That probably has something to do with it. And this was a book before. I'm going to buy the book because it also might be the fact that they have excellent source material. Because if I can only imagine what the book, I'm gonna order it. Where's my phone? I'm gonna order it as soon as this video ends because it seems like they had some incredible source material to work with, and I would like to read it. I would like to read the source material. Cause this was a serve. This blew every single Netflix original I have ever watched out of the water. Clear. Documentaries do not count because that's a real life story. This is a fictional story. This was a phenomenal job. What a great job. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I think you should watch it. I honestly think everyone should watch it. It's so interesting. It's the little things. I might need to watch Big Little Lies. I think that has Reese Witherspoon in it too. Might need to take a stroll on over to HBO, watch her. So yeah, that's the end of my video. This show is you should actually watch it. Like, you should, if you are thinking about not watching it. I was going to watch it actually like next week. I wasn't planning on watching it when I did. I pressed the first episode. I blew through the first episode, didn't even realize it was an hour long. I clicked the second episode, blew through that, then I was like, I'm tired. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just watch like 2 episodes a day from now on. Watched it all in one day. I watched the remaining 6 episodes sitting down on my bed. I did not move the entire day, guys. So yeah, you should go watch it. And yeah, that's the end of my video. So if you'd like to follow my social media, here is my Twitter and my Instagram. Go enjoy. I need to powder my face because it looks like sweat. Oh, of course. Is this a Morphe brush? No, it's not actually. That's interesting. All right. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's have a discussion. We need to have Little Fires Everywhere deserves an entire discussion in the comments. We're just gonna chit chat. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hoping you're staying healthy and safe inside your homes. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.